recording mechanism.
Swini ya fawo nga wokiraba yeyo Facebook page y'omukulu Dr. Besigye nga ayogera ku nsonga ya organs. Timutuufu ensonga weeri ekutte wansi ne waggulu.
Bwe bajja baatandikira ku family yange batajetinga mukazi wange ng'akawala bakayita Nabukeera. Noonya Nabukeera mutte yabula. I'm looking for her. Alabika bamutoba yadduka. Nalwalinga mukazi wange sibaitutunda mpeke nga bali wandegeya. A former minister or attorney general was operating in the Wandegeya office.
Okay.
Oyo Mpakisani bwe yajja wano baatulanga mu Nanjingi hotel. He was watching them.
Okay.
Yasulako ne kwa Acacia Avenue. Kati nga baagala tumwebaza yakola nnyo naye tumwebaza nje mukalambaza. If I don't fear abaana benga sibakwatira kisoba mukazi we. Tumwebaza akera ku majanga akalambadde. Mu buliri nga tebandabyeko. Have the capacity.
Ani ekito kikoto tukawao.
Kubaya
abana tebalina kusanga.
Yakagezaako okuzita emirundi eki.
Esatu.
The last one yatudde ne Lwaboogo. Lwaboogo n'amugamba nti Mirundi is a voice of reason. Mirundi is bamweyana.
Oli musambwa.
Yes. Lwaboogo who owns the church.
Agumanyi bamweyana amumanyi.
N'agamba nti I did I investigated the history of Chiganda culture and I came across a man called Bamweyana. Bamweyana is drunk. Bamweyana smokes marijuana. Bamweyana appears to be mad, but Bamweyana is an intelligent.
Is intelligent. Enkora ya kyalo nenga mugezi.
Mirundi is Bamweyana, which is true. Umusambu wangulina. Ene kopira jola beyo eyo mukeeka. Eyo egundi.
Yabamweyana omulalu.
Kutiya je nyambala. Bamweyana musambu ogw'amaanyi mu Buganda. When you have Bamweyana Bamweyana nti ogabanga mulalu. Bamweyana strikes deals, that's why I have money. Bamweyana akuleetera emikwano, I have friends.
Kituufu.
Cannot fight me.
Kituufu.
Bamweyana is intelligent. But in Chiganda culture bwe baba kwe bayita okubanda ti ono mando baba amubanda. The mando is given conditions under which it operates. Ti omuzzukulu talina nnyumba tajja kuwambala mbugo na kufuuwa mmindi ku nnyumba gya mizigo bajja muyita mulogo. Ekyo kimuwummuze until he gets what? Enyumba eyiye.
Okay.
So me, I don't smoke, as he said. I don't smoke marijuana. I don't drink water. My Bamweyana is a modernized person, but I am highly intelligent.
Okay.
I predict it. Nenga tumwebaze yagula abantu era nga alina Lwaboogo. I can play the tape and the video. Omusajja n'agamba Lwaboogo naga sinze, but my friend tumwebaze. Tumwebaze bujja keeru kaji tell his father. One day mujikosa nkakakalambadde. Why? They're zeroing on him. I wonder why Museveni leaves tumwebaze, who is testifying on Zoom kukutta abantu nga is heavily involved. Museveni namuleka nga stinkinga mu cabinet n'aba cabinet. Yes, awe tumwebaze
bali kujimu wezi
mtubi tumwebaze unuka ng'amazzi, unuka ng'enagisi, unuka ng'omulambwe. It should be the cabinet which is away to Mwebaze. It stinks. This man, the Pakistani, has implicating evidence, implicating it to Mwebaze.
What about evidence?
Bajina. I told you, where is Wawuya? Where is Weyomba?
Nobody knows.
The chairman of the Mafia Fellowship sat with Wawuya and Weyomba in Makere College Inn. I captured them on both video and audio. And this Wawuya stammers. But I'm hearing a man called Tamale Mirundi talking about these things. What I can assure you, the former Attorney General, who is also implicated, has tried to hang himself twice.
Anthony General gwe manyi owaffe owange we nakawa
kakati oyo yagenda mu luggya lwe n'ayimirira. I know Mr. Tamale Mirundi, you are watching me. You bugged my house. Why? I'm looking for school fees for my children. You know I was sacked. Why don't you debug? I know Museveni gave you these machines, but I'm also an NRM man. The man pleaded. But you have been given every opportunity to get money. Where did you put that money? To force you. Mukazi we ya mugamba. Ntiva mu bintu ebyo. The woman died in serious days. One day they will be investigated. Kati uganti weyomba ndi wawuya. Bakwata badira when you see. When Museveni tried to bring Chubani doctors,
yes,
he was frustrated. Why? This organ business could not go on when the Chubani doctors were present.
When you were present here.
When Museveni brought this Italian woman who resembles Gaddafi to set up a modern factory at Mukaga to save money from going to India, they frustrated it. Where they find that the land titles are different. How can the government buy land from the when you have who prevails over the other? Nenga effort za Museveni was frustrating. Oyo yali doctor oyo yadduka kati oyo yali doctor akwat. Arrest that man who incited the doctors against Chubani doctors. The Chubani doctors are in Kenya. These ones are trained in a different institution. Kubanga abasajja baba communist bagezi. Abalasho balaba. During the Soviet Union time, Africans who lacked brains were trained in Lumumba University.
Okay.
The real brain workers were trained in their universities. A Soviet Union engineer who trained in Lumumba University, Kaunek, is different from a Soviet trained in Unek was trained in Lumumba University. Oyo Unek oyo ajoga abantu. Yeregale goyo nga namukubye kuba refugees. Kanirana we he hides himself.
Okay.
Kakati abachuba bali baba training bamanyi Oluganda. Bamanyi Olunyankole. These are trained for bamanyi Olulu. These are trained for export.
Bobali wabo machinery.
Yes. Two countries have excess doctors. Is Cuba and Italy. Okay. Italy nibo genda ku embassy ya the medical doctors. Because you must understand that the Romans had this Italy bayina ebintu bibiri bisatu mu nsi. Italians and medical doctors. Why?
Okay.
Emperor Caesar. The word comes from Caesarian.
Okay.
Nyina balongosa mulongose.
Yes.
Which means nalaba president nga azannya omuzannyo gwa Julius Caesar. At that time of Julius Caesar, the doctors in Rome could operate a woman. Chikutegeeza how strong.
Emabega ddala eri kuva ddala mabega eri bo nga basobola okuoperatinga.
The second Italian monopoly, the shoes zetwambala.
Engatto zo, engatto ya Italian shoes.
Mu byafaayo 8 ebiri mu nsi, oluguudo lw'obujjo oluli mu Italy, mu Roma, Abaroma be basooka okukola enguudo. Kakati during winter nga tosobola kutambala ngatto. During summer nga toyinza kutambala ngatto. So the Romans invested heavily in shoemaking.
Mukola engatto.
Era bw'osoma akatabo kange nti saving a cobbler to kill a medical doctor.
A medical doctor.
Nti akakasajja kwa tumwebaze. Nakano kagundi kana akafekete kano akali mu New Vision bakayitani awo. Robert Kabushenga be babba oluguudo lw'ekatosi ne basiba byandaala.
Are you sure?
Yes. Kakati tumwebaze bagenda kutunda buli kake konna wabadde abba buli wamu. Nkugamba mu katabo ako nti a Roman judge was confronted by the two issues.
Yes.
A cobbler had killed a person. But because of his specialty in shoemaking, even the judge's shoes were torn. Because the shoe maker was inside the cells.
The cells, okay.
They had to find out. A judge, this man, because he was a celebrity, tebalina mpisa kakati yatta omuntu abba bakabanne serep
omukubi w'engatto yekaya aliwo ku kyalo
as the judgment was coming to an end the Italian judge was summing up his evidence he asked the court he asked the man that before consenting you what do you give to
mitigations yeah
you tell the court why I should not give you a strong punishment and the Roman law said that if you kill a person you must be killed to appease the spirit of the dead. The judge was trapped until in mitigation. Instead of this man coming out, the cobbler, another man stood up in the court say, my lord, although the Roman justice says that whoever kills a person is killed, it is not clear whether the killer should be killed. But the purpose of the Roman law was to appease
the spirit
by killing another person. In this case, if the cobbler is useful, we cannot do with the cobbler. What do? They started interpreting the Italian law, the Roman law. Yes. Now that we have known, the judge moved in no. Do you know that most of our judges they cannot get money from a bank?
Why?
Judicially, judicially, Chiwanuka has killed the judiciary. Akubira abalamuzi amasimu. Omulolo onasekino eggwanga balisi. Bwendi kuba obutambi bwa Chiwanuka ajja kudduka. Bwendi kuba obutambi Chief Justice ajja kudduka. Bwendi kuba obutambi Speaker ajja kudduka olanya.
Okikakasa.
I'm telling you.
Bwona mwebali.
Bwendi kuba obutambi bwendi. Abantu baga nti lwaki okuba bwa ludda. That's what I want. But there is nobody who speaks in Uganda nga simutegedde. Besigye yagamba nga ayogera nti bwendi kwata power ye Mirundi musalirawo
ovaawo
goloza nti Besigye byayogera ne Bobi Wine sibimanyi bogera mu koti nti access ekyobola bansereko bamwetikisiza empunu nsereko bamuleseze etteeka nga balowooza sobola mukuba kuba mwana wa mwenyinazi but he did not consult me yayita ono kojjawo omuto nange nemuyita nemugamba tobyogera tobidefendinga
ogenda kumukuba
kubanga nsereko kyataategeera genda kiddako kati kuka nti
ensonga
Roman judge said why don't now we have a problem this man has killed has broken the eyes we don't need to kill the killer but what we need is to kill
to appease the spirit
okay. And the judge proposed. Then, in that situation, we are helped by the interpretation of this man. Okay, whom do we kill? The man said, since we have so many medical doctors in town, and allow this cobbler to go security free. That's what the judges are doing in Uganda.
Omuntu akoze omusango bamuvaako newego bakola ki?
Yes. Kakati nze nkugamba nti ekibaleetedde obuzibu lwabwogo bwabayitiriddeko lwabwogo is also implicated
in the organic case.
Kati Besigye ekimujjayo I'm suspecting and when I tell you 10 things lwabwogo is going to bolot lwabwogo agenda kuva mu gavumenti ate Museveni yakola ensobi n'amuwa omulimu special advisor. Lwabogo now has created the problems for the government. He controls the media. All what is happening in the media is his. Has known that he has been undermining Muhoozi. Muhoozi is a human being. Bwebamukubako olowooza bituufu. Nabaweereza message. Nimbaga nti let me tell you. Look what the concerns of Lwabogo. Nga mbalaba mu meeting. Nakuno kweri. Lwabogo is the richest man in Uganda.
The richest man in Uganda.
He controls a part of the economy.
Yeah, Uganda.
Yes. Kakati Lwabogo address his concerns. Can he entrust the power to Gundi?
Muhoozi.
Tamwagalirako ddala. Yagamba Muhoozi is weak. Bwe tumuwa obwa president amagye gajja muwamba. lwaki gawamba muhozi gwa civilian negatakuwamba
but who has to anaina okusalira bannayuganda anaina tukulembera
bakimanyi boba confused ruling family ne first family
they are confusing ruling family and first family
propose Natasha kyobula baleeta binu ebyokuyita emukamuli nabagambye mmwe olanya alibeera speaker kwolo olunaku ajja kufuluma horizontal wajja kubeerawo basi ezibalindiridde bakubaka kimbia enda mbia kabasi baba seka iruzira parliament bagijire
ya ebintu byogamba tino transformers cadres agenda association simanya ya Lwabwogo tebiri you see
attention no butambi ayikapu chayimu
yagabe kumbe tebiri you see sibi ya Lwabwogo
is a very strategic man very strategic. Why? Never joke with a self-made person. Lwabwogo was a great man in London. How has he graduated to the level? I tell Lwabwogo to respecting a family.
Bajja kusulinga kalebule.
Yeah.
He was a great man.
Lwabwogo was a great man in London. The first thing he did, drawing from his experience as a great man, he started a security company. And he says it was his money that attracted the daughter of the president. At one time, Lwabwogo said, they have records. I'm not a member of their family. The children are members. Kakati Lwabwogo, you must address. A snake is normally a non-hostile reptile. But you step on it, it turns back. Yes. Kati, you must understand what causes upheavals in this country. Musota, the snake politics. As Obote wanted to get rid of Amin, now again the Singapore. Obote always did important things, either in northern Uganda or while he was away. When it backfires, Abama Zokolachi, Obote directed Oito Ojoko to arrest Idi Amin. This woman, Mwitani Hajati Anuna. Hajati Anuna was a secretary of Amin. Was a secretary of Obote. Because UPC is a non-tribal party.
Okay.
Kakati Anuna yalikinga information ya Amin. Obote alagide bakolechi.
Bakwati.
That's why Obote, that's why Oito Ojoko was horrid up in the parliament.
Okay.
That's why Obote hated Okero Lutwa. Why? Instead of heading to Kampala, Okero Lutwa was commanding office of Masaka. Instead of heading to Kampala to cool down, to confront the Amin soldiers, he fled to Tanzania. This is why Okero Lutwa depended largely on Museveni's income. This is why this current minister, Okero Oryem, babysat Muhozi. Okero Lutwa was depending on selling Chako. Museveni yakwatanga sente. Museveni invested for Jabagamba vision. He invested in Okero Lutwa.
Okay.
Kakati nkugamba. Nti bwe tuvaawo. Abaganda Obote bw'abakuba mu masaza agabula. There was a constitutional provision that after 2 years of independence, the counties will have a referendum. Bwe bali nga Ben Kiwanuka yagamba mu Lancaster, solve this problem, you created it. But the Bazungu refused, but left it. Ne bateekawo referendum in 2 years, from 62 to 64. As we are debating Mikaeli Kintu, an illiterate who could only hear English, yajiwuliranga naye nga talwogera. Kintu was a talented man who could hear English but could not speak it. Kintu n'abagamba, no, let us decide here and there. Masaza agabula. Kakati Obote n'aweereza Kintu kakiiti ne bakamusomera. Kintu, why are you delaying us? We have already defeated Kiwanuka. When both of us are in power, who will organize this referendum? But it was a constitutional provision. Obote mu 64 agiteekawo. Abaganda bekalakasa. Bagende egindi. Mutesa is the president who shot 9 people in a market inikalukukuza Mutesa ava mu motoka yena jamu submachine gun natta abantu mu katale nami ntakikolangako. The first president of Uganda to kill people emisana tu was Mutesa Nuizi wetu Ndayiga. Olwo Abaganda bakawunawo babamobilize Ssaabasajja yanguwa ogende Ndayiga nyabe Ndayiga Ndayiga nyabe Ndayiga Ndayiga amasaza bagatwala Bugangayizi balitwala nebuyaga balitwala okumanya abasajja abimengo basajja bagamba Abaganda the bazungu knew and ukohen nya mafuta ndigali bunyoro
okay.
But he did not tell Baganda a particular place. Maybe in the rest counties there can be oil. Why? Buganda spent on the instruction, on the advice of Wandu Hohe. Wandu Hohe ni yali agamba ngabagamba tugenda kubeera ne gundi Governor General Kohe ni agenda kusigala wano nga Governor General.
Okay.
Ate ensi yeefuze n'alimba Mutesa. Kakati Mutesa ateeka sente ze nnyingi wa Ndayiga Obote akuba amasaza agateeka kagundi. That was the fall of the two.
Okay.
What I'm telling you nti mu Uganda buli lwotunuulira Muwanga, why did Muwanga turn against Obote? Muwanga knew like a snake nti Obote is creating an alternative base. Alonze Peter Otai as Minister of Security, Minister of State. Adi the regular army agitaddemu special force. Nali mu Kampala one. When the special force was passing, demonstrating through Kampala to show that Peter Otai had created an army against the regular army. Baba kuba masasi.
Okay.
Muwanga yalagira regular army. Baba masasi wafa waga.
Asatu.
Muwanga n'avayo n'agamba nti babadde tubayita bayekera bafudde Luweero. They have a new uniform. That's why Muwanga overthrew over. Kakati ukamu nkugamba. Lwabogo has reached this level. He cannot entrust his way to somebody else. No. And unlike Lwabogo is the strongest faction in any other government. Yatandika ne patriotic groups. Gatsezala wetamulaba. Natugoba fena natugoba. Lwabogo nagoba buli muntu yenna. Natula naye appeasing Hitler. Kakati today the efforts that Lwabogo are doing to lure me into his camp is not what Muhoozi and Museveni are doing.
Okay.
In fact, if I wasn't principled, nga Lwabogo samuwabira dda waffe mu nsozi, I would have grabbed his yakwa Museveni yampa sente. Lwabogo n'aziwamba. I should get it. Yenga anoonya reconciliation. Did Museveni direct Lwabogo to give me the money?
I know ways of wamba sente zigoleddwa. 2
days ago Lwabogo sent a person. Ne mugamba gwe give that money to onogundi onani Balugahali. Balamu nayogera nabo. Bring the money. But Museveni doesn't give me a coin.
Okay.
Lwabogo has the most powerful faction in this
government.
Well organized. Has money. Ye Museveni bwagamba nti bakuwe sente nakugamba. When Sidiru invites me and Museveni invites me, I feel first. Museveni na lwaiso and Lwabogo yagoba nacho nagoba Kadaga. I have the meeting. Nagoba nachobe nagoba Kadaga. Nagabe bampa sente. Nalagira abagagga bonna including my relatives. And squeezing nkukube yondo mutwe. Nakola eyo advisors meeting yali ekyankwanza. Babalanda tajimanyi yava. It was intended for me. Wanakano kajaka nalimba ta mukazi wange yankwatia muka kangende nzita abantu bano wafewo 10 atani kagende kubisaga ekyankwanza bantu bano bakomo okutegeera kakati yagamba ki what you are seeing now Lwabogo has remained one thing is to borrow it
kuva mu government
government bajononyi. Let me tell you ladies and gentlemen, bw'oba yagala okustadinga gavumenti ya Museveni enkuba gye bakubiyemu gerageranya ne Putin, abazungu enkuba gye bakubiyemu Putin.
Bw'oba yagala okulaba engeri gye bakubiyemu gavumenti ya wano tunde ekiri Russia essaawa zinene bifaanagana bitya?
I told you that the Americans are no longer interested in occupying the territory. That's not the fashion of war.
Tebasagala matwale.
Because you cannot have what through peace talks what does not reflect the territory you are occupying now. That was the already fashioned principle of war. The Americans have bebaita gond seals.
Yeah.
They detect you from there, hit you, and they go back.
Okay.
They hit Bin Laden in Pakistan. Did they occupy Pakistan?
No, they didn't.
But if the operation had flopped, either bad say or bad is communism. No power, none of Malawi.
Okay.
The seal of occupying territory, they have, and they refugee Russia. They turned China into their backyard. Who buys the Chinese products? Are they the Chinese? You see Chinese in Africa, the poor people. The largest trading pattern of China is the European Union, which means if the European Union imposes sanctions on China, China can crumble. The economy crumbles.
Oh.
But
is that why you are seeing China?
He does not control your family, but he controls you because you get food from him. He can create a stampede in your family.
Chitufu.
Yes. Kakati bana abasajja bagezi. They can. I cannot rule out that there are seals in Ukraine. But there are two important issues. Okay. One, Ukraine was under the Soviet Union.
Yes.
When this man, Putin, was the head of KGB, a terrorist organization, a torturing institution, never called a referendum for independence.
Okay.
Can they go back to the Russians? If today we hear that Amin's soldiers are organizing,
are coming back,
what happens? The first peace talks were supposed to be taking place in Tanzania. The moment newspaper reports indicated that Mariam was here, Unzi was here, this is when Rutwa lost. Okay. Tanzania entered Uganda for self-defense. As long as Amin remained a buffoon in Uganda, Ngavuma Nyerere, Vamukazi Nali kuwasiriza. The moment Amin annexed Kagera, the Tanzanians united. Amin yali alowooza tibwalumba Tanzania, the army in Tanzania will topple Nyerere. Because Tanzanians were fed up.
We are fed up.
Nyerere was spending money on the liberation groups. But once the Tanzanians knew, how can we be ruled by puppets from Idi Amin? In fact, South Africa, the Boers in South Africa wanted to give Amin money and weapons because they thought that this was another front to weaken Nyerere's frontline state, his contribution.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
The Ukrainians, independence bagende. Are you returning us back? There will be an uprising. Government n'abakadde bakutte emmundu. Tennaggwawo yalaba ku bujogo bw'abalasa.
Tebagala kudda mu kintu kino kyebayitamu. Yensonga ki Putin okutwala omukaluubiridde. Economy lube egudde. Gwolowooza nti bagenda abazungu abo they are still but steady. Robinson yakyali Ukraine. Yali asobola okugenda Ukraine nga ba special forces bangu Bungereza tebaliyo. Could he risk? Tekisoboka.
Which means there was a strong presence of British soldiers in Ukraine.
Yeah.
Abamerika nga bagambye nti banalumba Uganda bakwata abaganda abanyankola abaki. The person who commanded the failed operation in Somalia was Ayadidi's son. Ekyabwe tekigwawo bugwi.
Kiba kipulaninga na kitegeteeka.
Kaka today, how have these people defeated Gund? Because for Baganda tukimanyi. Ali kungulu ataga nti mututaase. Russia wouldn't have accepted the talks.
Yes.
Ate bajja kulekayo bamutegedde. They are warning China. You can make your economic gundi. Nitujitanga tusindise even a single soldier. Kana bano bakoze Museveni. They are using human rights in Museveni. Whoever violates human rights is targeted by sanctions.
Why is it that abantu bonna babira tortured? Ku kitebe kamoocha. Bavuli baba paradinga. President abakundi balaga nti banabana ko kwogera I was tortured. Watch kikolwa bwekito.
Where the president is not to understand these Europeans. Nzinafuna omukisa. I did the propaganda in one of the best institutions in Europe when I was young. I was smuggled here.
Hey.
Yes. Siri muntu wakuzanyi. I can sit down. I did the propaganda. Propaganda is not telling lies. Propaganda is a packaging of facts to suit a certain type.
Okay.
And when I'm talking to my university students, I use different similes. When I go home, also
propaganda means package facts, having facts.
Why am I making every day? I turned my programs into lectures. Yes, I will lose. You cannot defend undefendable things. Bwobange motoka ezokusika yine wayo mugga nga yo nafu nnyo inayegwa
genda bugenzi
sisobola kutanishinga image yange. This is how I have defeated these people with all of the resources. Kakati nkugamba ti Museveni bamukubira human rights.
Yes.
Economy bajajita. You not see a European soldier here. Toja
kulabika ko wanene.
As you have not seen the European soldiers in
Russia.
No. Gwe kyogamba nti ejemisinga ejiri sophisticated Germany jebawa bajiyikidde waawo oba waliwo abagermany abagikolako. For the first time when Saddam Hussein fired Scud missiles into Israeli territory, the Americans had to come to operate them. For the first time Israel's defense was under foreigner, the Americans. How can you tell me that the Germany sophisticated missiles are handled by Ukrainians? Russia bamutegeera da nabagamba nti Russia as the Soviet Union was lured into Afghanistan, Russia has been lured into Ukraine. The Russian Federation will crumble. Are you saying Putin is not lucky? He will be like Milosevic. He will be humiliated in Hague. Who will be assassinated by easy people. He will disappear like a Hitler. Kati nze bwe mmala okutunuulira eyo situation nenjireetawo
n'ogiteeka wano ewaffe
nti bano baba Museveni gavumenti ye bagikubira ku kintu eki. Bakoci abalungi bw'ategeera nti omupiira guno ayagala tiimu enaazanya ku deciding match, abazanyi b'abalungi ayinza okubajjamu
yasooka n'abawummuza
n'alekawo defense ng'omulimu gwayo kulemesa bano kuteeba ne goal kulemera mupiira time bweyo
natwaliza obudde
good players for the final match.
Yes.
Kakati bano abazungu they have learned from Kenya. Do you see violence in Kenya?
No.
Why? The 2007
elections, yeah.
They made sure that Uhuru Kenyatta had to eat his humble pie and be humiliated before international cameras at Hague.
Yes.
As African leaders were arguing, no sitting African leader can be humiliated to Hague. Uhuru, why? Why did Uhuru humble himself? One, in American tradition, a president who is not a descendant of whose parents were not born in America, in his last term must visit his country of origin. So we are faced with the two challenges. Obama to visit Kenya as a former president, or to visit Kenya as the United States president. Okumanya abazungu bazibu. Laba Barack Obama ajaddi nga America eri isolated bagikubye Twin Towers. The whole country, everywhere there are celebrations. How do we deceive these people? Mufune omusajja alina amanya g'ekisiraamu. Barack Obama. Is he a Muslim? Mama we nga avaawa Malaysia. The most populous Islamic country mu nsi
is Malaysia.
Naye every American president okujjako Trump must have origins in Ireland. Obama yagendayo nga jjajjawe gyali
mu Ireland.
These people tebakola nga balwabo. These are people who are paid money to think like me.
Tamale basajja tunabatuukako endowooza yaabwe.
Let us come to our place. Nti Museveni bamukubisa ki?
Human rights.
kakati bo bakimanyi bano bamakyazi mu human rights fe batugoba ne tugenda nga balowooza wogajja kunjoga Museveni ankanyige kasasiro mbeere kasasiro mange gumwokeze bamukubye amagulu mwenda najja mu meeting Museveni nangoba ku teepu enfu nze ngende mu president's office nga timwebazango bye yego new vision nayinja kubatta. That's how I've survived 8 years. Nagende wange nenebaka nimanya bajja kunonya nonyayo waboka nonyeyo mukube nyondo mutwe sezala bwe yewunye nenazala ne bajja ko pologulabo zange jakemu kasajja ko jakemu ne bagoba mutabazi ne baleta ko walaka UCC jakemu bakubene kitawo bamutte. I handed over myself to the population. Abaganda bakuganda government okunonya n'abantu government ekunonya abantu bakweka oloza gontaliyo
wewaire koti yensi y'abantu nawe.
Yes. Toyinza kuntima wange kuba mutayima. You bring an appointment later, I shoot you. When you bring a sacking later, I shoot the chicken for you. Tetujja kudda. Ate lwaboga yatugoba ate kati naye amudde.
Ale sakiyeta guyo mwebaza webaza ale separuwe kugoba.
Wange tebaita siddayo. What I want from them is compensation. If they are really true balokole, bali tuula wansi baga nti omwana ono yatukolera.
Mzee Tamale. Victims one bakwata. Abantu abadde tortured. Beba parading. Kamera ne zivaayo.
Let me give you an example. It is we people about studying propaganda who understand propaganda terms. When they tell you a travel ban, kandiko yagamba njagala yoki.
Sina kye neegombayo.
Kandiko didn't know the
implication.
One, once you face a travel ban by USA, you will never enter USA and its
allies.
You cannot go to China. Two, you cannot transact business in America. You cannot, even your family is deported. Oleme kugamba nti banganye okulaba ki
abantu bange.
They give you a time limit to sell your properties, otherwise they are confiscated.
Zobadde oyina yeeri
bakayigula abakandiko babadde babawano ng'abaana baabwe bali bweru balinayo property. Lwaki omusajja bw'oba tolina ssente mu mpale omusazi w'ensawo n'agamba muzeeyi ssente zo zigwa lwaki okwata mu nsawo
nga toyinaamu?
Yes. Can the Americans say that they have imposed a travel ban on me? They have property in America. Bw'olaba bakujimbye kuba babba wano abaana baabwe bali bweru ne batta ebigezo bya wano ne bonoona buli kimu. Ministry education ne bagitta ne babba ssente za TV ne babba eza radio 19 billion. Abaana baabwe tebaliiwo wano abaffe bagwe.
Mzee Tamale kaddemu bwe baba bataddeko travel ban kitegeeza olina ky'olina eri. Nze tariki batalina kyena tibasawunda travel ban because sina kyenkola ki.
Fe Abaganda otya nazalawo nti akankanya obuko. Kakati gwe nazala wange omudduko obuko.
Ate lwaki
akwatirawo obuko.
Ate munkwatirawo.
When you see they have nti bakutaddeko travel ban
kitegeeza obadde olina kyokola ki.
Olina ky'olinayo.
Nga twaggwawo dda sijja baatu.
What they have done, the Kandikos didn't know, and because of the implications, and they did not inform Museveni. Kandiko wouldn't have been given the foreign assignment. Why? Kandiko, because he has been targeted, cannot transact business. He cannot even receive his salary through the bank system.
Is that why Nesudani bamujeni wamukomyawo waneeno?
Anti alina kusasula musaala mukasi. Anuka ne banka zinukira. This is what these people don't know. This is why Lwabogo strives to ensure tinemukozi afuna eba mwononi ngakano kwa tumwebaze ke bafuna anu okutta abantu kuba mukozi mukutta abantu taliimu mwoganike taliimu Lwabogo mwali kati mwebaze mwekali.
Is that why bajoka kwenza am implicating it no
naye bamulemaze ate talina amawulire ga Lwabogo. Museveni yakwatanga ssente nga zwa Lwabogo ne Kaliisa namulaba Kaliisa nga asinika enzinyo babye 10 billion. Museveni yabadde 10 billion zange mba naziza omusango Kaliisa wampona nangena mubana mulaba awo ne baagala asinika enzinyo tamakadde benyondo negikwatako emirundi 3 Kaliisa mutti olwo president mugamba listen bagenze wa Museveni abagambye oba olwo kwatumwebaze bakasasudde 5 billion mwoteri yako mutasuze bantu kasajja ko ojja kusasula Europe ojja kuddeyo mu bwolo bwe wakajiji obunuka poverty is like gravity nebunkuba nebunerega mumbu bwembwabiza bufito kuli nambu atenja bukuba ne video buli katambi kenkuba konna nkawa embassy nakwata obutambi bwonna bwaboga antekako pressure suddenly them to the embassies mumuzite mulabe baba batire bwana musajjamu kakati ye Museveni bamumaze ali mu situation
njya tunyoyine ebintu bibiri ekisooka ogambe nti abazungu balina kye bakola tebajja mu kifo baako bakozesa olwaleero ekintu ekiri ekamwokya obona bakwata abaana ne baparadinga abatuchalingiddwa abazungu bebatuma bana eno
kikola Monitor published a story that a man had spent 20 years in prison.
Yes.
Nibamulaga. Nembagamba, this is a man who was arrested for killing the Mirindis. Nga Agudde omuhikiro watu.
Okay.
Ye yabatta. Banga ba Mirindi bali foto nga banywa mwenge. Ne balaba omusajja yatta kijana ngoma. The man who killed Kijana Ngoma was ADC to Mugisha Muntu as a Kamekamaanda. Committed a crime, Naduka. Era Mugisha Muntu yakwata jeti mwebaze namusiba mukomera. Yatta abantu mu National Park. Ekyo kyakubya Mugisha Muntu. N'adira esente ziyasanga mu office. Esimanyi sida ya jeshi n'azijjamu. Salizi yali ataddemu. Amunoti cashier. Ne bamuwalana. Ne baleeta engatto z'oludda olumu. Nebaleta gundi chovala bayiya bakyawangaza if there is anybody who hates them is Mugisha Muntu. We are in the same position.
Okay.
Tusobola kubasonyiwa okujja ku compensation nti ntule mu meeting omuli tumwebaze simwe atuyite Museveni ajja wali wasse munni azire n'obwo bwana ogenda okujjanga commando beku kisengo bankalumye ekimiro
oli commando.
Yes. Akati nkugane gamba ti Monitor yabadde ejirese n'enjikuba
bamusiba akyali muvubuka kati ali myaka 5
family file bagikweka not to this man would have been charged for killing 3 people.
Okay.
Yatta Kijana Ngoma nattani ba Mirindi aba aboluganda ne Makerere. This man Monitor gwe wan nattani journalist wange bageno musaba sente.
Are you sure?
Namutta because if you cannot hand the trigger to kill for yourself, you end up being katulamu ended up with serial killer. Katumusango ne bagutta. Ogwono ogwe Makerere
guno ne gufa.
Kati kijja kyasama. Ba abewa bami bakubeba kyaso mutwe. Bakubeba kinonye bakyaso omutwe. How can you say come gwe eyata abantu bali? And you went through a corrupt system. Mufairo baje bewandike ate Monitor nabukubere budduka. Kakati yesterday bwakubye story. A student was tortured in a police cell and to death. Do you see a response from government? Minister of Information and National Guidance. How much fuel do you need to go to that police station? Has Enanga spoken?
No.
Where is the investigations? Are you sure that a student was killed? Which school does this man who was killed? Or he is a criminal?
Where is CIA?
Yeah. And when you see students, haven't we seen students strangling their girlfriends?
Yes, to be
the
yes, to be
yes. What if a student is suspected and dies in prison? What if he committed suicide? Baba was a student. Student. And nobody in Kampala, we don't get a response the following day. Even the police that is implicated does not come out to clear his name. In Kampala, country where you can walk. No, because this is a government within a government.
Okay.
Baga nakubya katambi ekiro nga baga anti Mirundi agamba nti there is a subterfuge. Yes, a subterfuge is a group of criminals inside the government. They depend on stealing government money, which you are doing. $400 million is Museveni mwaziba kitutu bali kukuba lunaku olumu ne bakutta bali kuba kitutu nankabirwa abadde ze yewujja jewo umegundi nemba kwandikira akatabo kano nankabirwa yasirika bajja mukubaba muttire wano gundi nendaba
musajja
ninde bomusajja ngono mayanja n'abakoba bamukozesa okujoga Museveni cannot remove n'abakoba kati yadduse ali buwe alwana n'abagagga bajja mu maaso omutwe Museveni bwe batta apiriga yamuwaaki
awo tugendagenda mu kitundu ekyokubiri muzeyita
mayanja dduke
kumayanja ne Nabakooba
kiri bwebanga Museveni tasobola kudisipulininga Nabakooba kaakati yalagira Museveni yalagira nti ate gundi ono General Gundi alweso ate atuse